see here. All right. So, for the Instagram followers, then welcome to NFL Weekly Picks. I am your host, good old JR. And then if you're on the YouTube page, you'll get to see my good friend Brandon right here. Brandon, how we doing, man?
Doing good, man. How you doing?
Yeah. I know, man. You've been on a hot one these last 2 weeks, man. You've been rocking and rolling with your picks, man. Double-digit pick wins.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, I know. The only thing you wish is you could have guessed some right on some other ones. Trust me. Me
Yeah.
too. Me too. But man, it is week 3, and I can't believe how fast the season's going. It just seems like yesterday, we were just talking about preseason, and now it's week 3. That's how fast it goes, man. That's how
Yeah.
fast it goes. But I'm ready, man. You ready for your picks? You got all your picks?
I got all my picks. Had to change a couple around, due to injuries.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I got my
Oh
picks.
yeah. It's something. I tell you that. It is
Oh
something.
yeah.
But
Oh yeah.
But let's get to it, man. Let's see here. We have a Thursday night football matchup tomorrow between your favorite, the Carolina Panthers, taking on the 1-1 Houston Texans. Now, some people can look at this as a wash. Some people can look at this as, hey, this is the best the NFL schedule makers can make. But let's look over it. The Panthers, a surprising 2-0 start, beating the Jets and the Saints. Surprising. All right, very surprising. All right, they kind of brought the Saints a little bit back to earth, just a little bit. And the Texans 1-1. Hey, they beat the Jaguars and they lost to the Browns. Now, the only negative part about this is Tyrod Taylor is out, but I do want the fans to understand something. Maybe this is a good thing for the Houston Texans. Think about it. Really think about this. When Tyrod Taylor went down for Cleveland, the person that came in for him, Baker Mayfield. Amazing things. When he went, he didn't go down against the Chargers. The Chargers team doctors almost killed him. Almost killed him. The man that stepped in his place, Justin Herbert. All I'm saying is, hey, what if David Mills is that guy?
Mm.
3 for 3? Huh?
I know you very well, and I know you don't believe that shit.
No, I got the Carolina Panthers on this one. Yeah, I know. Look, man, I'm trying to give my friends who are Houston fans hope. All right, they need that. They need that right now. But I can't go against Carolina. No, I'm good. Give me Carolina over the Houston Texans. We're just gonna, Well, bye.
Listen, I know you very well. I like the fact that you was trying so hard, so desperately to give people hope in Houston. I live here. They have no hope. I got Carolina. I got Carolina in a blowout. I got Carolina in such a blowout. It's not even going to look. I expect Carolina's defense to get at least 2 touchdowns and like 4 turnovers.
Oh.
Like I think the thing about it is like Carolina is playing Houston on the road and it's a short week. Here's the beautiful thing about that. You're playing a quarterback that got drafted in the 3rd round of the NFL draft this season. We're not talking about like 2 or 3 seasons where he's been in the league for years on end. And plus, it's a short week for him too. No pads in practice. So what the hell is he doing? What is he calling? What is he doing?
I think at this point, it's safe to say that the Houston Texans don't know what they're doing. Let's put it that way.
No, they know what they're doing. They're tanking. They know exactly what they're doing. They're tanking.
Yeah,
we both have said that. I have said this on this show. I think it's going to be at least 4 or 5 teams that's going to at least get maybe 3 wins this season. The Texans are one of them.
The thing is, it's like if you're going to tank, and if quarterback is in your play, is there really a quarterback in this draft class that you can say, The names that are coming out, I mean, do they really impress you that much? You'd be like, franchise quarterback. No, man, I don't know.
No, not really. No.
But yeah, I think it's safe to say that me and you both had the Panthers on this one, correct?
Yeah, I got the Panthers going like 41-3. Like it's gonna be a bad game. It's
no hope for Houston. No hope. You know me.
I would if they had a quarterback, an offensive line, a running back, wide receivers, defense, special teams, a real head coach, and maybe even a general manager. Then I'd probably give the Texans a little bit of hope.
So what you're asking is like a real organization then, like just real organization. Yeah.
At least the NFL one. At least the NFL one.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah. So let's just move it on. Congrats to the Panthers going 3-0. Good job.
Congratulations.
Let's move on to let's move on to game number 2.
Now let's really move on to week 3 because this is gonna be a blowout tomorrow. We don't even have to wait. That's gonna be a college game. You're gonna be like, yo, Alabama beat who? That's exactly how you're gonna feel.
That's exactly what it's gonna be. Now, second game on the slate, we have the Chicago Bears taking on the Cleveland Browns. Now, all right, here we go. We don't know the extent of Baker Mayfield's injury. We don't know. Is he gonna play? Is he not gonna play? He's kind of one of those last-minute deals. And today, Matt Nagy did it. I'm so proud of him. He has named Justin Fields the starter. And I can only imagine how that conversation went. Have you ever seen the movie Pulp Fiction?
Yeah.
Okay, remember when Samuel Jackson called his boss saying that he needed some help, and then his boss told him, "I'm going to send you the wolf." He goes, "Oh, you feel better?" Like, I'm pretty sure that's how it went. Like, hello? Like, hey, Justin, it's Coach Nagy here. Hey, what up, Coach? Hey, man, you're the starter this week. Jeez, man, that's all you had to say. And then he hung up. It's like, okay, so now we're gonna see what Justin Fields can really bring to the table now that he's gonna play, full 4 quarters. All right, this is it. Now the Browns, obviously the defensive side of the ball, it's like, hey, it's not what we're kind of expecting, but it is only week 2. We'll see what happens. We'll see as the season progresses and everything. Now, on the flip side of this, we don't know the Baker Mayfield thing. But the thing is, they still have Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt back there. Odell Beckham is not a factor. Now Jarvis Landry going down, that's a huge factor.
Yes.
So now I really expect them to really trust on Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb. And I think when it's all said and done, honestly, I hate to do this, but I'm going to go with the Bears on the upset. Yeah, I'm going to go with the Bears on the upset. I think it's just going to be too much to rely on the running game. And I think the Chicago Bears defense finally woke up last week. And I think they're going to really take advantage of the injuries on the offensive side.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the upset here. Give me the Chicago Bears over the Cleveland Browns this week.
I'm shocked. I feel like I'm the only person that's been picking the Bears the last couple of weeks. I feel like I'm like the only person. I picked the Bears last week. And I was like, no, Cincinnati's going to beat them. And they won. Man, I love the Bears, man. I love the Bears. The Browns, man, have so many weapons. Problem is they're never very healthy at the same damn time. They're never healthy. Never healthy. Like, Jarvis Landry got hurt. The dude doesn't miss any games. Games. Now you got the offensive line injured too. You still got Wilkes out for like a while.
He's gonna be down for a bit, and then again, we don't know the extent of Baker's injury, and so
and I think, like you said, the Bears defense has officially, I wouldn't say officially, but they finally kind of was like, okay, we gotta play. Like, we know what it is. And another thing that people are not saying is, this game is in Ohio. Where did Justin Fields play football last year? Ohio State. I'm just assuming probably a lot of fans there that know him very well. He's probably going to go off. I got the Bears too.
Yeah, it's one of those things, man. It just seems like even with the injuries, you would think the Browns still have a chance, but I think the Bears just are going to figure it out, and I think Justin Fields is going to have a welcome home party in his home state. So it's
on top of that, I think a lot of people forget that Justin Fields doesn't have to play a crazy game. He just has to play a non-turnover game. And if Matt Nagy could just play a non-turnover game, he's got more weapons than Baker Mayfield does. You better figure it
out. And that's kind of saying something, But yeah, I'm gonna go with the Bears over the Browns. It looks like me and you. Yeah, I think me and you both agree the same thing. So yeah. So I mean, again, no, it's no offense to the Browns. We believe in the Browns. It's just I think it's just you guys caught with the team now where it's like, hey, they looked okay with Andy Dalton. So it can't get that much worse with Justin Fields. So
well, it is the Bears, so we do not know.
Yeah, it is the Bears, so we do not know. So we will see. We will see. So me and you both have the Bears on this one.
Definitely.
Now, next game on the clock, we have the 0-2 Indianapolis Colts taking on the 1-1 Tennessee Titans. Now, these two teams were destined to be front runners for that division. I mean, it was set in stone. The Indianapolis Colts and the Tennessee Titans are going to fight for the AFC South. And from the looks of it, it is anybody's division. Hell, it could be the Colts' division for all I care. I mean, gosh, these two teams just look woof. They look woof. But the Colts fell 0-2 after a very hard-fought win against the loss against the Los Angeles Rams. The Tennessee Titans, they had to come back. I mean, of all teams, Seattle. And as much praise as we gave the NFC West, it's like, dude, you gave up that lead? Like, really? Seattle? Like, come on, man. Like, that game, though, the Tennessee Titans game versus the Seattle Seahawks, that was a very weird officiating game. Like,
Seattle games are always weird. Like, they're always weird officiating.
Replacement refs or not, it's always weird.
It's weird. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's Seattle, I'm assuming, because it's rainy, but it's not really rainy. Like, that too, possibly. Too much Starbucks. Maybe too much Starbucks. Maybe. I don't know.
It's a lot of things for Seattle. But again, we have Indianapolis that's 0-2. And look, the season was really high because they needed Carson Wentz to be healthy. And now what we're looking at is, dude, you busted both of your ankles at the same play. The defensive lineman had so much power on his legs that he busted both his ankles at the same time. Understand what I'm saying here. But so the Colts fall to 0-2, and not because of lack of weapons, just because they busted everything and they put everything on the quarterback, and so far it has backfired on them completely. The Tennessee Titans, they came back miraculously because of I guess if you want to say favorable calls, I guess if you want to say. The refs made it kind of stay in the game. Now give it up to the Titans as well. They dialed up some plays to get some thing, and of course, Derrick Henry went off. So as long as Derrick Henry goes off, the Tennessee Titans will have a chance. Now, this game's going to be a little weird because I do not know which way to kind of lean towards. This is one of those where I kind of had to flip a coin to kind of be like, well, really think about it. And the coin landed on Tennessee. I just don't think the quarterback play is going to match up to Tennessee's time of possession. I think Derrick Henry is the only legitimate threat to that Colts defense. And once he goes off, which I know he will, and Julio Jones, A.J. Brown's going to do their thing, and then the Tennessee Titans. It seems like that's going to be the thing for the Titans. It's either Derrick Henry goes off and then the offense can get rolling, or the offense is going to lackluster because Derrick Henry can't do anything and nothing happens. So, and with the Colts, there's no such thing as good anything. Carson Wentz is down. Jonathan Taylor is very underperforming in the red zone, which he was very well in his rookie year, and he's underperforming with 10 rushing attempts inside the 5 and 0 touchdowns. So, again, Jonathan Taylor, love him. Doesn't seem like the red zone thing's working right now, and that was the whole thing about it. I'm going to go Tennessee on this one.
You already know I do not trust Tennessee's defense at all. I do not like Tennessee's defense. I think whoever is the defensive coordinator needs to be fired. Yes, you are right. Seattle did blow that lead. Was it the refs? Maybe. Did the refs help? Maybe. But here's the thing. I also saw Tyler Lockett get open a couple of times, one in particular, open to the point where he literally could wait for the football to come and still would get a touchdown.
It was pretty embarrassing. It was freaking embarrassing. I'm not gonna lie to you. It was pretty embarrassing.
It's like, come on, Tennessee. Good.
I mean, I've heard of like cushion plays, but that was like the whole mattress store. That was the whole mattress store.
He was like literally open. If you don't believe me, go watch it on YouTube.
No, I saw it. I mean, I saw it.
People
like,
out there. If you don't believe me, go watch it on YouTube. He was.
It's always funny when you see professional NFL wide receivers like their eyes so open because of how much room they have. They're just like,
he looked around like, "Is this serious?
Is this happening to me?
Is this happening right now?"
You know, it's the same thing when running backs, when you see the offensive line open up that hole and the running backs are just like, is that grass all for me? But yeah,
I mean, the Colts gave up a lot of blown coverages too last week to the Rams. Like a lot of them. Like,
look, that's the Rams. That's
yeah,
they're
like,
gonna do that to everybody.
I get that, but Cooper Kupp shouldn't be catching touchdowns like damn near 10 yards in front of your next secondary player. Like, that's not good.
That's a problem. Yeah,
That's not really good. So you're literally asking me which team do I believe in, I guess, the most, I guess? And if that's the case, I mean, Tennessee's got way more weapons offensively than Indiana and the Colts do. And I mean, and if they got Jacob Easton really being a quarterback, bro, just mail it in. You guys are going 0-3. It's Tennessee. 2-1. And guess what? Now they lead the division, which is not that goddamn hard to lead right now. And your only competition is 0-3 now.
That's about it. That's the name of the game, man. So I'm assuming you got Tennessee in this one.
I got Tennessee.
Okay. Yeah. Like I said, it's just one of those things that I can't picture.
It's a head scratcher because you kind of know Tennessee could also lose that game. It's kind of dumb. It's such a because it's a divisional game.
This feels like a game we should all tune in because it's either going to go really, really bad for both, or it's going to go really, really bad for one. There's no other outcome. I think. Like we're not expecting it to be a close game at all. It's either going to go really south for both teams, or it's going to be really bad for.
It might really actually be close, but it's just like the reason why it's close is just not the reason we would think it's close. Like,
yeah,
it's not really a defensive battle. It's like
I always go back to the episode of Family Guy. You know, when Peter made that homemade film. And then Joe's like, man, that's the biggest piece of crap I've ever seen. That's probably what it was. It's like, man, that's terrible. That's the biggest piece of crap
that's terrible.
in my life. Now, speaking of biggest pieces of crap we've ever seen in our lives, we both went to Tennessee. We have, you ready for this one? The 0-2 Falcons taking on the 0-2 Giants. Now, that right there, my friends, is the epitome of, man, do we gotta watch this? I mean, if you're fans, I guess. Like, if your team is playing on the afternoon game and that's the only game they're showing on CBS or NFL, I guess you gotta watch it. Or you could just take another hour nap or something. I don't know. Go back to sleep or something. Because no, man, it's just not gonna happen. But let's be fair. Analyze this. The Atlanta Falcons, they regret not taking Micah Parsons now, especially the way Micah Parsons played in his debut of the at his debut at defensive end, you know, because of the sub package and everything, because of Randy Gregory going down and everything. I'm sure Atlanta's looking at themselves going, we either draft a tight end who his highest ceiling could be Darren Waller, or his lowest ceiling could be Virgil Green. Or we could have drafted Micah Parsons, where his highest ceiling at this point was Lawrence Taylor. And his lowest ceiling was, to your point, Sean Merriman. Damn, that's a pretty hard pass up that 4. That's a very hard pass at 4, but Atlanta's got to line it now, dude. I mean, put it this way. Matt Ryan has 4 touchdowns. 2 of them belong to the Buccaneers. All right? That's the Atlanta offense. But on the other side, you got the New York Giants. You know, it's not so much that they're a bad team. They just don't know how to close it out, man. With that defense, you would think the offense would be competent enough to at least help them close it out. And they can't. But this is where I think it changed for the New York Football Giants. They got a break, and they got the Atlanta Falcons. I'm going to go with the Giants on this one.
I'm assuming you're going with the Giants, so that was pretty obvious. My thing is this. I think Atlanta, offensively, has no weapons. We've talked about this numerous times. You got Calvin Ridley, who's going to get his because he's Calvin Ridley. He's pretty fast. He can get out of a lot of things. He's actually a pretty good route runner, which I didn't really know he was really that good. I got used to watching him at Alabama, but it's like he's really good. Like at route running, I didn't know that. Like, but you literally drafted a tight end forward, and like you said, if it's not Tony Gonzalez, Rob Gronkowski level of talent, like, we're not drafting you, dude. Like, you're going to have to just fall for a while before we draft you. You got to fall to the right team. That's one of those, you got to fall to the right team type of players.
Atlanta was not the right team for Kyle.
That was not the right team. And then on top of that, you traded Julio Jones For what? Like, why would you trade him if you knew you needed a weapon? You needed weapons and you didn't get any, so it's kind of dumb. You need to fix your defense or fix your offense. Which one did you want to do? Because a tight end doesn't fix your offense.
I've never heard a general manager say, you know what, we're going to draft a tight end so we can build around him. Never heard of that. Now, I've heard of, hey, I'm going to draft because we have a good linebacker or a pass rusher that, hey, we can build around this defense. I've heard of that, but I've never heard, hey, we're going to build around our tight. No, not at 4.
Yeah, I don't get it. Kyle Pitts, I feel sorry.
And we're not saying that he's a bad football player. It's just me being a general manager.
But
never.
Yeah,
I mean,
tight end to go
never.
But tight end to go fourth in a draft and you don't block either. It's kind of part of your goddamn job. Block and catch. It's pretty much part of your job. Now, if you got another tight end there that blocks and you can block really well for you, then okay, you'll get your gadget guy. Congratulations. You figured that out. But you don't have that there in Atlanta either. It's kind of bad. For the Giants, Saquon Barkley, man, I don't know what the hell's going on with you, man. I don't know if it's the injury. You just got to work your way back into it.
I think that what's holding the Giants back it's Jason Garrett. It's Jason Garrett. It's Jason Garrett.
I don't know. I don't know. But Daniel Jones is actually looking like a quarterback. Finally. Good God. You look like a quarterback. I didn't know you could be a quarterback. I didn't know.
What I'm saying, I think
it took you a while. And I mean, yeah, Jason Garrett might be messing up Saquon Barkley. He isn't messing up Daniel Jones. He's actually got Daniel Jones looking like a goddamn quarterback.
Yeah, I still think Jason Garrett's offense is from 2005 still. I think he just does
but Mike McCarthy's offense is from whatever year they won the Super Bowl too. So it's kind of like you're running into
it's very plain. But
it's very plain.
I think the Giants got this only due to the fact of the deficiencies of the Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah, the Giants gonna win, and plus they're at home, so I think get that win. And
Giants can't afford to lose this. This is where everybody's.
I mean, the last 2 games the Giants have actually physically played in was Denver, who has a defense that's very good, stout defense. Teddy Bridgewater barely turns over the ball. Then you play,
and they played Washington really well, so that's why the hope is there. Well. I mean, the hope is there for the New York Giants.
If Darius Slayton doesn't drop that touchdown, you're probably 1-1 right now.
Yeah, so you know. Now here, let's go to this one. This one's going to be very interesting. This is kind of the one where everybody's kind of like expecting, because this is the team that everybody expected the Chiefs to kind of battle it for the AFC West, and it's the Los Angeles Chargers taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. They're both 1-1. Both losing week 2 in one of the ugliest fashions you can ever lose in a football game. One to a last-second field goal, and the other one because your running back fumbled. That's the ugliest ways you can ever lose in the NFL, and well, it happened to both of them on the same week, surprisingly. But the Chargers travel to Kansas City. The Chargers, I mean, look, they look amazing. They look fine. Okay, like offense looks good. Rashawn Slater looks amazing at left tackle. Okay, Corey Lindsey looks amazing at center. The thing that Phillip Rivers needed all those years for him, Justin Herbert now has. It's a line and it's amazing weapons. Okay, so the defense, okay, it could use a little work, but they have a good mastermind, defensive-minded coach that can make things work, and then they'll build the defense up from there. With Kansas City, it's this. Kansas City has to score every damn possession. If they have 30 possessions, they need to score touchdowns every 30 fucking possessions, because their defense cannot stop the run. Their defense can't. I mean, we're talking about this much. The Cleveland Browns had over 200 yards rushing on them. The Baltimore Ravens had 200 yards over rushing them.
Hold on. Lamar Jackson had more of those yards by himself than the entire team. So go.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, and the thing is, it's like, you know, Kansas City fans can say what they want. It's like, I can't believe we lost to a running back that plays quarterback. Yeah, I can't believe it either.
I can't believe you screwed up.
I can't believe you guys lost to that either. But the problem is now I thought week 1 is like, all right, we're going to have the kinks, you know, week 1. Week 2, it happens, and it's like, hey, look, man, this has been an occurring thing. This has been an occurring thing since the playoffs, the Super Bowl, and now here. Nobody can stop the run. As good as Tyrann Mathieu is, as good as Chris Joneses, everybody else around them,
Throwaways.
woof,
Throwaways.
woof.
Yeah.
But this is their saving grace. The Chiefs have Patrick Mahomes. The Chargers do not. I'm gonna go with the Kansas City Chiefs on this one.
Kansas City's defense is
Garbage.
garbage is actually a little bit better. Kansas City Chiefs. I wouldn't want the Kansas City Chiefs defense to save me if I'm like drowning right now. They can't stop anything. They can't stop nothing. This is a problem. This has been a defense since last year. It's not like this defense, like at least with Tennessee, they tried to get some people. Cleveland, like all of these defenses that kind of like wavered last year, that you were kind of like, they just need a couple pieces. Kansas City completely woofed. I don't know what the hell happened. Like the draft, you didn't do nothing but give Patrick Mahomes more weapons. All you did during this offseason was fix the offensive line, but you didn't fix the biggest damn problem. The complete other side of the goddamn football. What do you do when somebody goes off? What happens? Oh, you give up damn near 400 yards to just one person. That's what you do. That's what you do. You give up 400 yards to damn near just one person. That's what you do. Okay, clearly. So Kansas City's defense is, I don't trust them. Never will trust them. I don't think that they're good at all. And I'm tired of people just continuously being like, yo, we got Patrick Mahomes. We're going to win. Dude, Patrick Mahomes is only one freaking man, dude. I don't give a damn.
And here's the thing. For the regular season, it's cool to have Patrick Mahomes.
Yes.
But when you get to teams, you're going to get to teams eventually that's going to be like, hey, they have the same amount of firepower as offense, but their defense is way better.
Yeah.
So crap.
And here's the thing. By the end of this week, Kansas City could literally be the last team in their own damn division. Because I'm going with the Chargers.
Ooh.
They are going to be the last team in their own damn division because Chargers defense is actually a little bit better. You got, just like Kansas City, you got one or two players that you kind of know. But I trust Justin Herbert. I trust Rashad Slater. I would trust their offense a little bit more than Kansas City's defense. And I trust the defense of the Chargers to actually get to Patrick Mahomes a little bit more than we think he will. Because they're going to get tested in this game too. People think they're not. They don't get tested in this game. Joey Bosa.
It is a division game.
It is a division game, and it's always a hard-fought game for Kansas City. We talked about this last year. Who did Justin Herbert make his first start against? Kansas City on like 5 minutes notice. And guess what happened? They went into damn near overtime just to beat this man. So and let's not act like last week when they lost to the Dallas Cowboys, the damn head coach could have lost that game for the Dallas Cowboys if his kicker did like he did in Tampa game and missed a bunch of goddamn field goals. He's lucky as hell that he actually made that damn field goal. Because if not, they're going to go into overtime and the Chargers are going to beat them.
Yeah, and that would have been tough. So, okay, there it is, our first one. I have the Chiefs, you have the Chargers. This is going to be one where it's like, look, somebody's going to have to go into fourth place after this game.
Somebody.
And somebody has to be fourth, unfortunately, because every team only carries 4 teams in each division. It would just be shocking to me if it is Kansas City. Because all I heard from Chiefs Kingdom, we're going back to the Super Bowl. We're going back to the Super Bowl. Do you want to with that defense?
I believe in the Chargers defense way more than Kansas City's. That's all.
I think there's a lot of defenses I trust more than Kansas City's. But alas, that's going to be one to keep an eye on for the morning game. So here we go. Next one, we got the 1-1 Bengals taking on the 1-1 Steelers. So the Bengals, kind of a little bit of a heartbreak defeat against the Chicago Bears. They were kind of in it, because Andy Dalton was playing and then Justin Fields came in and totally turned that around. And that's what we kind of been saying. It's like, look, it can't get any worse. So let's see what they got. The Steelers, I want to say they got embarrassed at home by the Raiders. I wouldn't say that, but I will say that they did get out-coached.
You won't say it, but I will. They got embarrassed by the Raiders at home. They got embarrassed by the Raiders at home. They couldn't protect their quarterback. That's a problem.
And the thing is, it would have been it won't be a problem if he wasn't such a statue, but he is.
He's a
And
freaking
it's like, Big Ben took some mean shots on Sunday. I mean, whoever wanted a piece of him, they got him. They got they got a piece of his, part of his rib jersey, his shoulder pads. If you wanted a piece of him, he was there. And all you got to do is just get there. I mean, that was rough. That was tough to watch. And again, it was just the Steelers have an inexperienced offensive line.
Was it really that tough to watch? You're a Raiders fan. Was it really that tough to watch?
I mean, it wasn't tough to watch to be because I was a Raiders fan. It was tough to watch because there was a couple shots that he took, and he was on the floor for like a minute. And I'm like, is he dead? Like, is he dead? Like, there was one where two defensive linemen got him in the chest, and you just see him, he turns over, and I'm just like, oh my God, he's dead. Like, I just like, oh my God, I just witnessed a live murder.
Oh, wow.
But look, I get it. It's the Steelers, and I get it. It's the Steelers. It's hard. It's hard to go against the Steelers because the Steelers are a team where it's like they don't like to get embarrassed at home, especially on back-to-back weeks. Like, they do not like losing. Mike Tomlin hates to lose. He loathes losing at home. He loathes that shit. He hates that more than losing just any other game. Like, losing is one thing. When he loses at home, he gets pissed. Yeah. You can tell in his press conferences. He's a mad man. And the Bengals, look, they're here. They're coming up. But the problem is, same thing. There's no offensive line protection for Joe Burrow again. But what's happening is that Joe Mixon, Jamar Chase, and T. Higgins, and Tyler Boyd, they're making the plays for him to where, hey, we can push this for a bit, but eventually it's going to come down to a point where, man, we're going to need some offensive line protection for him. It's going to come down the road. Because, again, they're giving up way too much pressures. They're giving up way too much hits. And, I mean, after that Minnesota game, after he was limping off week 1, it was a scary sight. It's a scary sight. So I'm going to go with the Steelers at home this week. 1, they don't like to lose back-to-back home games. 2, the defense is way better than Cincinnati anyway. And I think the Steelers can bounce back from the Bengals. So I'm going to go Steelers over Bengals on this one.
All right. I don't trust the Steelers' offensive line. You're not going to convince me in 3 weeks what I've seen from the Steelers is going to be fixed in 3 weeks. They have no real cohesion as an offensive line at all. You got a rookie center. You got rookie guards.
It's like you got a rookie guard. You got Trey Turner as your veteran lineman, and everybody else is kind of like a
throwaway.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the way Big Ben was getting up off the turf, he literally hurt himself. Like, he has a strained pectoral, pec. That's a problem. Even though it's not in his throwing arm, it's still something because back when I was a kid, when Big Ben used to get hurt, but you're like, oh, he gonna play. Now he gets hurt. It's kind of like, yo, I don't know, he gets hit one more good time, that might be the end of it all.
And I think it's time to see if he really can't go full. Isn't maybe time to see if Dwayne Haskins can turn his career around?
It's starting to get to that point now for me. Do you give the ball back to Mason Rudolph and see what he really can do? Do you really do that?
Because if you really, my thing would it be telling me if you do put Mason Rudolph in there, then what you're telling me is you have 2 third stringers as your backups, and it's time to look towards the future if you're the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, and yes, I trust the Steelers defense way more than Cincinnati's. The problem is I don't know what the hell is happening with TJ Watt either, and that's a bigger loss than Big Ben is.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, definitely.
TJ Watt being hurt, that's a problem because I've seen Steelers games. Without TJ Watt, they barely get a pass rush. So as you Patrick up to blitz Joe Burrow, okay, do that. But now you're letting Jamar Chase, you're letting Higgins, you're letting Tyler Boyd, you're letting Joe Mixon all go around him. And now
are you leaning towards where I think you're leaning towards?
Listen, I've tried to stay with the Steelers for like 2 weeks straight. I chose Buffalo the first week, but the Steelers last week just showed me I don't trust them. I don't trust them. This is the year where the Steelers just fall. It is what it is, and they're gonna start falling right now. You said Mike Tomlin hates losing twice at home and getting embarrassed at home by losing. You're gonna really hate this week because Cincinnati's gonna whoop your ass.
Oh, oh, oh no. The Bengals are going to come into Pittsburgh and whoop them. That's it. Oh, boy. That's going to be horrible.
We know Cincinnati doesn't have an offensive line. I know that. But they still got Joe Mixon. They still got Tyler Boyd. They still got T. Higgins. They got more weapons. And plus, Joe Burrow can actually throw the football down the goddamn football field. Limping or not, he can actually get the damn football down the football field. Big Ben is dinking and dunking because he doesn't trust the running game because they have no offensive line. At least with Cincinnati, you can hold up for a little bit until he gets the ball down the field. I got Joe Burrow. I got Cincinnati.
All right, give me 1 second. Sorry about that. We'll get back on here for a little bit. But like I said, it's just one of those things where I know he doesn't like to lose at home and all that stuff. And it's going to be one of those things that, hey, it's just one of those things he doesn't like to lose at home.
Yeah.
But I will say this. Should the Steelers lose this week, it's going to be a tough one for everybody. It's just going to be a tough one for everybody across the board. So we'll see. We'll see.
We shall.
We'll see what happens. But I don't know what happened to my thing, but we'll keep it going. Anyway, next up, we got the Ravens taking on my Lions. My Lions.
You said they're very, 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 very low. Like, yeah, they're my Lions, kind of. I still believe.
Hey, man. Look, nobody loves the Lions more than I do. I love these guys. And, hey, you laugh, but they hung with San Francisco, and for at least a half, they were hanging with Green Bay. They were hanging with them.
Yeah.
All right?
I give you that.
They were hanging with them. And then Aaron Jones decided, all right, time to take this shit over. We're going to go home. I'm going home. I ain't doing this today. I ain't going to overtime with Detroit today. I'm done. All right, so we got the Baltimore Ravens 1-1. They could easily be 0-2 because, I mean, they gifted the Chiefs 14 points. They got upset by the Raiders week 1. This is a team that could easily be 0-2 right now.
Yeah.
But they came through.
Yes.
They pulled it together.
Yeah.
And thanks to a terrible, terrible, terrible Kansas City Chiefs defense, they came up victorious on Sunday night. And now they got the 0-2 Lions. Listen, I love Dan Campbell. I love his press conferences. We're going to bite him in the shins. We're going to punch him in the eye. We're going to chop their heads off, eat dinner, become dinner. I love that attitude. Okay, but look, let me be honest with you. I think they're going to commit to Jared Goff, especially the way he's been playing. And I think he's the right man to turn the ship around, to finally give some relevancy to this franchise. It's just not going to be this Sunday because Baltimore's coming into town and they got Lamar Jackson. And I get it. Canzaloni, he looked amazing, okay? He looked good in Detroit. They look fine. It's just they're not there yet. They're not there yet. And I think if they really commit to Jared Goff and they build around him, I think Detroit can be somebody in 2 to 3 years if they really build this right. But it ain't going to be this Sunday. So I'm going to go with Baltimore in this game. But go Lions. All right, baby.
Okay. So I think Detroit's going to come out like the first half against Green Bay. Very hyped. They're at home. They're going to play extremely hard. And they're going to hang in there. I would say to possibly midway through the third. And then because I think Baltimore is going to have a super huge hangover from Kansas City game. I think the emotional roller coaster that game took out of them is you're going to see it. You're going to see it early in that game. Like Lamar Jackson's going to have some plays that you're like, what the fuck was that? Yeah, they're gonna have some kind of like some crazy plays. But eventually, Lamar Jackson will become Lamar Jackson.
And he'll get over it.
He will figure it out. John Harbaugh will figure it out. And Baltimore will win. Which means Detroit will go to 0-3. Just saying.
Yeah, I know. And here's the thing: they're gonna build, and I trust Dan Campbell. I really do. And you know what? It's good to see because for the first time, I know the record doesn't say it. 2, there's really nothing to be happy about. But the flip side of it is this: at least Detroit's trying, and they're not just laying over. They're giving it their all. It's not right now. And I think Dan Campbell is a way better head coach already than Matt Patricia, which the bar isn't really high at that point. But I think he's the one that's going to turn the team around, and I think he's going to be the one to build the Lions from the ground up. And hopefully everything works out for him. But yeah, Baltimore.
Yeah, I got Baltimore.
Yeah, so we'll go on. Now, the next game, however, this is one of those games of who are you really? We have the 1-1 Saints taking on the 1-1 Patriots. Week 1, the Saints, dominant. I mean, look amazing. Jameis Winston looked like FSU Jameis Winston.
Yeah.
Week 2, what the hell is that?
Look like Tampa Bay's Jameis Winston.
Then you have the Patriots where, hey, your defense did not show up against Tua, and the bulimic offensive line of the Miami Dolphins. You're going to get anything and you still lost the point? And then next week, it's like, why couldn't you do this to the Dolphins? If you could do this to the Jets, you could do this to the Dolphins. So this is really a game of who are you? Yeah. What do I have to like? Who should I believe? Should I believe Sean Payne staying up there? It was just one bad week and we'll find a way to turn this around? Or do I trust Bill Belichick and his saying, we're on to New Orleans? Who do I trust? I like both. I really like both franchises. I like Sean Payne. I like Bill Belichick. I like what these franchises have done for the better part of the decade. But it's hard for me to go over legacy over, flipping a new page. That's why in this case, I think the Patriots we saw in the Jets is going to be the same Patriots that we're going to see pretty much the rest of the year. I'm going to go Patriots over Saints. I know. Go ahead, man. Let it all out. Man. It's okay.
If you just joined in, I am a Saints fan. Last week was what I expected. To be honest, I wanted to pick Carolina last week, and I was like, because I know Sean Payne's going to come out with a flat, terrible play calling week 2. For the last couple of years, if you're a Saints fan, either we come out flat in week 1 and dominate in week 2, or we come out flat and we come out dominant week 1 and come out super fucking flat in week 2. Like nothing goes right in week 2. I don't know what it is. Like every year, either it's one of the 2 weeks, we're just abysmal. We don't
the highest of highs and then the lowest of lows.
It's like the defense is going to be defense. I think our defense is solid. They kept us in that.
Dennis Allen's going to keep them in check. I'll put it to you that way.
Kept us in game, and when we went into halftime and came back out, it looked like a different defense. Like Carolina looked like, oh shit, what is this? Like Carolina's offense looked like, oh, this is not what we want. This is not good. My thing about it is, do I trust Dennis Allen's game plan more than Bill Belichick's game plan? Both of these men are defensive-minded coaches. They love doing what they do. Again, like I said in week 1, the reason why I didn't pick the Saints in week 1 is the same reason. I got to see the team. I just got to see the team. And now the defense is always going to be solid. The defense is always going to have great players. But we got too many goddamn injuries on that side of the ball. And the biggest piece of our offense is our center, and he's out right now. So, and that's the real reason why Jameis Winston looked like he looked. He didn't have any offensive cohesion last week. Offensive line cohesion, it was terrible. It was shot.
Yeah. It was because Eric McCoy is a really good center.
He's a really good center. And
the problem is, if he goes down, there goes your anchor, and you're like, oh, crap. Because the other 4 are Pro Bowlers, but it's just that center. He's the one that He's kind of like the rug that puts the house together. That's
Yeah.
what he is.
Yeah, Cesar Ruiz is good, but he hasn't been a center since college. Like he's been our guard, and he's too damn small to be
To play center.
he's too small to be an NFL center. So
He's perfect for guard. He's a perfect size for a guard, but not center. No.
not for a center.
I mean, there's only very few times where I see centers his size. You know, like Ronnie Hudson. I mean, he's only 6'2", but he's a really good center.
Jeff Saturday,
Jeff Saturday was only 6'1", 6'3", or what was he, 6'3"?
like 6 foot. I thought he was like Drew Brees size, like
Something like that. And he played really well. But it's just only very few names that I can think
Yeah.
of. Like,
so. Yeah, I mean, look, I think the Saints are going to fall to 1 and 2, but I think it's going to be a good 1 and 2. I don't think it's going to be like, well, we just got to ass whip like we did in Carolina. Like they're going to fight, but I do believe because of the injuries, I don't even know if the coaching staff is back this week. I don't know if any of the players are going to play this week. I don't know what's going on. All I know is that the Patriots are healthy, and if the Patriots are healthy, even with a Mac Jones that might not turn over the ball that much, which I think this week he's actually going to turn over the ball a lot. I think you're going to see the Saints pressure him a lot.
I think the thing is, I don't think so because I think they're only asking Mac Jones. It's like, hey, look, man, we're going to go to Olive Garden, but you're going to order up the kids' menu. You only have 2 choices, here or there. So there you go.
And I think that's the thing. I think, like I said, Dennis Allen can kind of confuse this kid at one point. If he confuses him, then we got a different conversation. But for right now, I don't know. I don't trust our line. I trust the Patriots offensive line a little bit more. I'm going to go with New England.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I agree. I got New England on this one too. Now,
plus, also, I picked Green Bay the first week, and they got their ass whooped by us. So hopefully this works again this week.
There you go. There you go. Now, we're just going to skip over this one. The 2-0 Cardinals versus the 0-2 Jaguars. Cardinals?
I believe that the Jaguars is going to lose, but lose it like very bad. Like really, really bad.
So we can move on. Cardinals?
Really move on that one.
Okay, cool. Gotcha. All right, well, here's another one we can move on then to. The 0-2 Jets versus the 2-0 Broncos. Broncos.
I think we skipped the game. Did we skip a game?
We're skipping the Jets and Broncos. So
no. Buffalo and Washington, right?
Oh yes. Yes.
Huh?
I just wanted to get the Jets and Broncos ones over. So you got the Broncos one.
That's so easy.
Okay, Broncos it is. Now let's talk about that Washington game versus the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah.
Look, Washington got really lucky. I mean, they got lucky because of a stupid penalty the Giants did at the end. I mean, really don't like. And it was the guy whose head is like near the football, and he's the one that jumped off sides. It's like, oh, that's a lonely shower. That is a very lonely shower there. And then Buffalo, they look like Buffalo because it was against Miami. So these two teams maybe got lucky on who they played week 2. We don't know. For me, I think after just 2 weeks, I'm just going to say out there, the Buffalo Bills defense is a top 5 defense. And so is Washington's defense. They're both top 5. They're both legit. Gregory Rousseau, amazing coming out party as well. As much as everybody likes to talk about Micah Parsons, Gregory Rousseau, the defensive end rookie out of Miami, did just as well. 2 sacks, 6 pressures, and 3 tackles for losses. He did just as well. And I love Taylor Heinicke.
I do too.
But I got to go with the Bills. They just have a little bit more firepower than the Washington football team right now. And I think their special teams are just a little bit better. So give me Buffalo at home.
Yeah, I mean, Washington kicker, even though he made it, it looked very bad off his foot still. Like, it looked like he could still miss this damn kick.
Yep.
Like, it was really shaky. Like, it was.
Oh, yeah. Of course. So,
look, I mean, do I believe Buffalo's defense has improved? No. You play Miami. You knocked 2 out. I guess it's like Jacoby Brissett came in very cold. We didn't know this was going to happen. But you did blow them out, and they didn't score a point. Washington, I love Tyler Heinicke, too. I think he's a really good quarterback. I actually think that was kind of what they should have done at the beginning. Look, Ryan Fitzpatrick he's a glue man. He fits you for when he doesn't. And when he doesn't fit you anymore, you might need to find a goddamn quarterback. I'm just assuming you might want to find a quarterback. This man played against Tampa Bay Buccaneers in a playoff game. And by the way, that was the only game where Tampa Bay looked like a freaking normal team. The entire postseason.
Taylor did his thing. And that playoff game, Taylor did his thing.
The fact that he was a third string quarterback that nobody knew about, and he came in and did what he did against Tampa, the eventual champions. The dude is actually a starting quarterback. Now, is he going to be there for years on end? Listen, I wouldn't throw him 4 years and $100 million or nothing like that, but I would give him at least 2 years and let's see what happens.
I would give him time. I would at least give him a time frame to see if he's got something going.
Because he looks like the team rallies behind him. They look like they love that kid. They look like they're happy about that kid.
Chase Young is probably the most admirable one there where he's saying, this is my guy. So if Chase Young's saying something, then maybe it's time to start listening.
And you drafted Chase Young, and he's pretty much your franchise player. If he's saying that's your quarterback, then maybe that's your quarterback. I'm just assuming. Maybe I don't know anything. Maybe I'm tripping, but I don't know. I love Washington's defense. They're still too damn shaky for me. I don't trust their defense that much. That front four is scary, but after that front four, you got problems. Like I said earlier, Darius Slayton broke a freaking wide open, and if he just didn't have glue on his hands, maybe he probably would have caught the damn ball.
Oh yeah,
he won the game. So you're telling me you're going to Buffalo when Buffalo did what they did to Miami? It's going to be a close game. It's going to be a defensive game, but it's going to be Buffalo winning the game at the end of the day. Josh Allen's going to get at least, I'll say 3 touchdowns. It's going to be really tough touchdowns, but he's going to get them.
Yeah. So it looks like we both got Buffalo. Now let's go to this one right here. I don't think I have to say much. Seattle, Minnesota. I got Seattle. I don't even want to get into it because every time I feel like Minnesota is going to finally turn the corner, the kicker holds them back. All Minnesota knows is pain of kickers missing field goal. That is the fan base. That is the history of Minnesota. Is kickers missing field goals. That is the history. If you told me, how do I describe the Minnesota Vikings to somebody that's never seen American football? Do not let them kick the ball. That's how I would describe it to somebody. Do not let them kick the ball.
I would tell them go watch the 1998 season, watch it in full, watch them go 15-1, and then watch the kicker, who was pretty much damn near automatic all year, missed the most easiest field goal of all time, and he missed it. He said, "Let Atlanta go to the Super Bowl."
So I don't think I have to say much. Russell Wilson, he's gonna come back in a big way, and Tyler Lockett is probably gonna be too much for Minnesota's defense to handle. So give me Seattle, and we're done.
I can see so many blown coverages in this game.
And here's the thing. We're laughing about it, but Mike Zimmer's job is on the line.
It really is.
And if he falls to 0-3, there might be a chance he might not see 0-4.
Nah, I think they're going to keep him because I think they believe in him that much. He's actually coached himself out of holes like this before. The problem is, has the team lost faith in him? That could be the biggest thing. I mean, they're fighting still. They're competing. They're still out there doing their thing.
Week 1, you blew it against the Bengals, which was a gimme game. You had to come back against Arizona, and Arizona gave Minnesota every chance to win. Another give-me win, and you blew that one too. So it's like, dude, how many more chances do you really need? I mean, if Minnesota falls to 0-3, do not be surprised if rumors start swirling. Is this the last week of Mike Zimmer? Is this the last week of Mike Zimmer? Is this the last week?
But here's the thing. With that division, you never know.
Yeah.
That division's up for grabs too. We act like that division is not. We just assume Green Bay is just going to walk straight through that division. Green Bay's got problems, like very seen, visible problems. Like that situation is not going away no time soon. That's a season that's going to last a long time. Minnesota, all you got to do is just win one. And then you could catch fire. Like we've seen Minnesota do that. Win a game and then catch fire.
Yeah.
It's just not going to be this week.
Well, I'll tell you this much. If they can catch fire against Seattle, they better do the same blueprint that Tennessee did to them. Run Dalvin Cook 41 freaking times.
Run them.
I mean, you ain't got no choice, homie.
There's only one Jamal Adams. He can't play every damn position on defense.
Oh, that's enough of that. But I got Seattle still.
I got
so,
Seattle.
Yeah. So now let's move on to the most important game probably of the week. Or actually, no, let's move on to this game, and then we'll move on to the most important afternoon game of the week. So we have the Dolphins taking on the Raiders. The Dolphins looked bulimic these first two. They barely escaped New England, and they looked terrible against Buffalo because Tua is now out, and he has been ruled out by team doctors and everything because of fractured ribs.
Yes.
The Raiders, surprisingly, 2-0. Okay, they are 2-0 with an impressive win over Baltimore.
Okay, first of all, I wouldn't say impressively over two. They're 2-0 because I actually knew they were going to be 2-0. I kind of told you this. I said Pittsburgh is going to win, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Raiders beat them. I literally told you this.
I know you told me this, but it's like I'm trying to give Raider fans hopeful for something. No.
Well, you can be hopeful for this because you guys are going 3-0. Congratulations. I got the Raiders. It's like, you got them too. Just say it. You got them too. Just say it.
Well.
Oh, no, you're not going to do that. No, you're not.
I'm going to do it.
No, you're not.
Because here's the thing.
No,
I've seen the Raiders go 2-0 before. I've seen them look impressive the first 2 weeks. I've seen them finally turn the corner. And here's the thing. Is Jacoby Brissett that much worse than Tua?
He's above the level. He's one level above. I mean, not that bad.
But again, I get it. You would think that everything in this game looks like it's easy for the Raiders. The offensive line for the Miami Dolphins, bulimic. The defense eventually breaks because the offense keeps going 3 and out. But that was with Tua under center. What about Jacoby Brissett? What if maybe he could change? And don't forget now, Devontae Parker is going to be there. Myles Gaskins is there. Mike Gesicki's there. And Will Fuller's finally going to play in his first game. And there's no film on Fuller.
Yeah. I mean, old film, but who knows?
But, I mean, we don't know about this new scheme.
Yeah.
And I'm just saying, what if Jacoby Brissett is just a hair above better than Tua? That's why I'm going to go Miami Dolphins. I think the Raiders are going to be in not for a rude awakening, but kind of a welcome back to earth moment. Like, I get it. The Ravens win. That's impressive. The Steelers win. Hey, you beat the almighty Steeler defense. Good job. I don't know if they can really, until they show me they can win the games that they're supposed to. Upsets are cool. Win the games you're supposed to, which they have not been able to do. So give me the Dolphins over the Raiders on this one.
No faith in your team. I don't know why you have no faith in your team.
Because I've seen this story before, Brandon. I've seen this story before.
I mean, you're just like me. I'm just going to pick the team they're going against. So if they win, I still win. If they win, I still win. This is like,
it's just like I said, it's not that I don't have faith in these guys. It's just I've seen the story before. You want to impress me? And I'm not saying win a playoff game. Just get into it, and then I'll be happy. I'm not even saying win. That's a low thing. It's like just get into it.
Here's the thing. So many people last year were so high on the Chargers and Justin Herbert and what they have always looked like. We forget the Raiders started 6-2. Like, they're really good. Now, injuries, of course, do what injuries do. John Gruden probably works them extremely hard in practice. Maybe he's taking his foot off the gas. Who freaking knows? But they always start out really good. I think the Raiders are going to win this game. They're going to be at home. And look, Jacoby Brissett is a one notch above Tua, but it's not like he's going to just go out there and beat Dan Marino and throw for 450 yards. Not happening. The Raiders defense is you know this. The Raiders defense actually looks better than we probably thought they would.
I'll tell you this much. They look better than last year's defense.
They look way better. They look so much better. And Miami's offensive line, Jacoby Brissett all out a little faster, but I don't know what that really does for Miami's defense or offensive line. I think the offensive line of Miami is a very sit and duck type of situation. And a couple of pressures, bull rushes to Jacoby Brissett, and then a whole game could change. Jacoby Brissett is a turnover-prone quarterback. If you get enough pressure on Jacoby Brissett, he could throw the ball to the other team. We all know this. He could throw the ball to the other team if you get enough pressure on him. So I got the Raiders winning this game. They're going 3-0. Congratulations.
Yeah, like I said, it's one of those.
I get it.
Show me that the Raiders.
I just picked the Patriots over the Saints. Like, I totally get it. I totally.
I'm just like, I've seen this. Like I said, I've seen the story before. Show me.
Yeah.
All right, now let's go into what everybody's saying, a preview of the NFC Championship game. We get the Tampa Bay Buccaneers that are 2-0 going up against the Los Angeles Rams at SoFi, 2-0. Somebody's gonna have to lose this Sunday. And look, I love what Tampa Bay's been doing. They've been showing that they've been the dominant team so far. Okay, very dominant. The Rams, they barely squeaked out a win against the Indianapolis Colts, but they showed that they have the depth to go far in this year's season. They have the depth to do it. The Buccaneers, I mean, they're the reigning champs. Okay? And, like Ric Flair said, to be the man, you got to beat the man. Well, this is one of those games that I've been going through. And I think after this Sunday, which really should have been the Monday Night Football game.
Really should have.
I mean, it should have been the Monday Night Football game.
I mean,
but
I don't know.
But whatever the case may be, at least we get to see it for free. I think how Ric Flair said it, to be the man, you got to beat the man. And I think this week, we're going to have a new man at the top of the heap of the NFC. I'm going with the Los Angeles Rams on this one.
I can't believe you. With the Rams. Because I'm going with the Rams. I do not trust Tampa Bay's defense. I don't trust that secondary for shit. I don't. And now the cornerback is hurt and he's out for a while. Like, that's a problem. That's a big problem. You're trying to sign Richard Sherman? Really? Right now?
I mean, look, I'm not going to say that I don't trust all of Tampa Bay's defense. I love the defensive line unit. I love the linebacking core. The front seven's amazing.
Front seven is incredible. If you can actually get to Matthew Stafford, then you might win this game. The problem is you're not getting to Matthew Stafford, and that's going to be the biggest problem.
Because you're asking your corners and safety to cover Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods, Deshaun Jackson, Taylor Higbee, and Van Jefferson.
And we forget that they have running backs that also catch out the backfield. What I'm trying to say is this. This is going to be the first and last time Tampa Bay goes to Los Angeles this goddamn year. This is it. I've been said this. Tampa Bay is not getting back to the Super Bowl. So they might as well go and take a tour around LA, go into the stadium, SoFi, say, this is a nice locker room. Because that's going to be the last goddamn time you're going to be in that locker room. So you're not going back to the Los Angeles maybe next year. Because that's the only time. You're not winning this game. And on top of that now, you got Antonio Brown on COVID list. Really? That's one of your weapons? He's on COVID list? Okay. Okay, Tampa. Congratulations. You're going to get destroyed. Aaron Donald's going to meet Tom Brady personally this weekend. I don't trust your offensive line. You think I trust your offensive line and your defensive second?
And here's the thing. It would be different if, the Rams didn't have a defense. The problem is they kind of do.
And they showed they showed you last year how to beat Tampa on Monday Night Football. They can do it. It's not like they can't do this. And then they're at home, and like you said, this is the most important game pretty much at the start of the season for any team because this could actually prove who can be the number one seed. It's only one number one seed. These two teams are going against each other week 3, and it could decide the number one seed. But for the week 18, week 17? That's a problem. Rams are going to win this game. This is going to be the last time Tampa Bay goes to Los Angeles. They ain't going to the NFC Championship game. They're going to get there. They're going to get destroyed before that. They're going to lose way before that.
No, I mean, if everything you're saying is true, then I guess, who knows? The Raiders got the Chargers next week. It might not be their last time they're in LA too, but whatever. We'll see how it goes. But for me, it's just that. It's just the Rams defense is just it matches well with what Tampa can do defensively as well, and they have a better secondary. So,
And Aaron Donald is going to meet Tom Brady personally.
and here's the thing: you can triple team Aaron Donald, but then that just means Terrell Burgess, everybody else is going to get through, and you do not. Once Tom Brady gets flustered, and it's not to say that the running backs by the Rams are that much better than Tampa Bay's, but they are. I mean, do you trust Sonny Michel and Darrell Henderson, or do you trust Ronald Jones and Leonard Fournette? I mean, it's kind of a toss-up.
Yeah, and they got Giovanni Bernard, but you signed him really to be James White. I don't think that's a good idea because he's going to get hit this week.
We'll see. We'll see. Now, we got some Sunday Night Football action. I know that. We have the 1-1 Packers on a short week. All right, they beat the Detroit Lions. They now have to travel to Santa Clara, California to take on the 2-0 49ers. All right, look, the Packers. All right, look, man, hanging around. You shouldn't be hanging around with the Detroit Lions that much. You should have put them away. To be down 17-14 in the second. Come on, man. Yeah. Come on, really?
Yeah.
And then you have the 49ers who right now, their biggest problems is the running back by committee thing is looking very thin because these running backs are either getting concussed, hurt, or they're being put on an IR list because of injuries. And Kyle Shanahan's offense is all about the running game.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know who the running back for San Francisco is going to be this week.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of mentioned it. You didn't do the whole double quarterback thing like you did week 1. Are you going to have to do it this week because of the injuries by the running backs? And for the Packers, it's a short week. You just got done playing at home on Monday night. I'm not going to say it's impossible because the Raiders did that. They went on a short week. They had to go on the road to Pittsburgh, and they won. This is Sunday Night Football, and I don't think it's that much of a difference. And this is why I think the Packers are really going to go to Santa Clara, and they're going to pull this off. I think they're going to pull a victory over the San Francisco 49ers. I think Aaron Jones is going to find a way to get it done again, and I think Aaron Rodgers is going to do what he's going to do to get it done. I think they finally get it done. Now, obviously, San Francisco's defense has been giving Aaron Rodgers fits for the last couple seasons. I just think now's the time. I think third time's the charm. I think the Packers get the 49ers this time.
The best thing that can happen for Green Bay is that the 49ers have no running backs. That's the best thing that can happen for Green Bay. Because if they have running backs, Green Bay's defense, look out. You're not getting it. This is like, good God. Listen, I like Green Bay enough to know, like I said, this is a goddamn soap opera, and it's not ending anytime soon. If you win this game, congratulations, because I don't think you can, to be honest with you. I think you can. You got Aaron Rodgers, so anything is possible. But I don't trust that defense, especially against San Francisco. Maybe they step up because they've been
Mollywop?
Yeah, destroyed by this offense so far. They're like, and this is always the game that everybody kind of just points to and be like, look, Green Bay has always been this bad. Look at the defense against San Francisco all the years. Yeah, you might get a chance, but I also think, like you just said, I think Trey Lance comes in and kind of gets a couple runs on Green Bay, and it's like, oh, what the hell just happened? And then you leave it up to the defense to do what they do best, and that's shut down Green Bay. I think I got San Francisco, man. I still got San Francisco.
It's going to be an exciting game.
It's going to be very
exciting, and it's going to be very telling of how these two teams are going to overcome what they have to overcome. One, from an organizational standpoint, and the other team, let's see how the system really looks without a true running back now.
Yeah.
So, again, it's going to be very telling and very interesting.
And we're about to talk about a team, and if I was maybe the San Francisco 49ers, I probably would pick up the phone. We talk about Baltimore. What about San Francisco right now? They kind of need a running back. Hey, Dallas, what you thinking about this, that, and the forward for Ezekiel Elliott? You seem like you don't need him. Pollard looks like a better running back for your system right now than he does. Why not you and us trade?
I'll give them. Yeah, I mean, San Francisco would probably welcome Zeke with open arms. So would
Zeke will probably
Baltimore.
go. Zeke will probably go openly. Like, okay, I go to San Francisco with a real offensive head coach. Okay, let's go. Let's go.
I know he loves Dallas, but I mean, San Francisco's not a bad deal.
And you got way more endorsement deals.
That's really not a bad deal, and they'll utilize him to the core. So
we're going to use him.
And that's going to be one thing. I think there's going to have to be an episode me and you have to do where the trade deadline, what would be the perfect trade for perfect teams? And I think that's a good one. San Francisco calling Dallas right now and be like, hey, you've given us Charles Haley before. Can we take Zeke? It's one of those things. One of those things. Perfect timing for everybody.
And that's the thing. We'll take the contract. It's not like we won't. We'll take the contract.
Because they have the cap for it.
And they have the cap for it. Why not make that deal?
Yeah. Why? And the thing is, you're going to get more money anyway because you already said it yourself. San Francisco already played their hand. They're going to let go of Jimmy G. So you're going to have more cap down the road anyway. So, again, it's just better to get more defensive weapons, more offensive weapons, and better, maybe just a little better offensive linemen. And now it's like Zeke's like, oh, I'm getting my money, and I have a stacked team.
And on top of that, if you're really Dallas, Dak is an amazing quarterback, but Dak could get injured at any moment. You don't really have a backup. Do you maybe say, hey, we give you Zeke, you give us around 2 first picks in Jimmy Garoppolo. Let's make a deal.
Maybe. Just in case, because you never know. You never know. Now, we'll get into that later because I'm sure that's going to be a hot topic when everybody does see this video. Let's move on to the final game of the week, and then we'll end our week 3 weekly picks here. We have the Philadelphia Eagles at 1-1 coming to Dallas. Classic NFC matchup, the 1-1 Cowboys. So the Eagles, impressive week 1 and very impressive week 2. I mean, they didn't win, but they hung around with San Francisco, which is supposed to be one of the toughest teams in the NFC West, and the Philadelphia Eagles hung around. Dallas Cowboys, they hung around with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the world champs, week 1, and they defensively looked a little bit better without DeMarcus Lawrence and Randy Gregory, and Micah Parsons is now going to be the new face of the Dallas Cowboys defense. Already more than DeMarcus, already more than Randy Gregory, already more than Jalen Smith and Leighton Vander Esch. He's already that guy in Dallas. He's already that guy. Because he can play linebacker and he can play defensive end. Dallas did right. This game is tough because I love what Philadelphia's doing. They're playing great.
Yeah.
They're playing tough and they're just playing as the game goes on. They're not freaking out. They're just going with the flow of the game. We already know what Dallas does. They're going to stop and then it's going to be an air raid every single week.
Yeah.
Tony Pollard is great, but he's more of a receiving back, and that's not Zeke. Which is, I hate to do this only because of the fact that, again, I don't like to use injuries as an excuse, but Brandon Graham is out. Brandon Brooks is out. I'm going to lean towards more Dallas this week than I would Philadelphia. If both were at full strength, they could be a case where Philadelphia could come out on top. But right now, I just think with the injuries and everything, I'm going to go Dallas.
Yeah. This has also been a toss-up. I don't know. I like Philly's defense, man. Philly's defense is better than I thought it would be. I definitely would say that. Dallas, too. Dallas' defense is actually better than I thought it would be. I think they're both going to stop the run really well. But like last year, Jalen Hurts is going to put his fingerprints on this game. I love Dak, but I got Philly winning this game. I think Jalen Hurts. I think they're going to get to him. I think they're going to get Dallas a little bit too much that they can't handle because we forget Jalen Hurts can run the ball too. He's pretty damn fast.
Yeah.
But Dak is kind of more so not really trying to run you over type of player. He's more of a trying to like just get the yardage, get the hell out, get out of bounds.
Yeah.
Hurts is more of a I'm going to juke you in the middle of the field and then leave you right where you stand. And I'm going to get this touchdown regardless of how you feel. I got Philly winning this game. This kind of feels like a really a week 3 old back in the day Dallas Philly types games where you didn't really know until you got into the game of who was really going to take it. And then Philly would come out and do some crazy plays and then take the game at the end of the game. I think it's going to be one of those. And I look, yes, Greg Zuerlein hit a 56-yarder last week. He should have never been put in that situation to even hit a 56-yarder last week. If your damn head coach commands the goddamn clock. Who the hell does that when you have 33 seconds still to play in the game? You literally let the clock tick down to 4 seconds.
That was just terrible coaching management. That was terrible clock management.
And you had a timeout.
And here's the thing: should Dallas lose, I mean, we were already making jokes that Mike McCarthy should have been fired last year. Because here's the thing: Dak is safe. Yeah. Everybody else is safe. The only one that doesn't feel safe in that building is Mike McCarthy because he doesn't know when he can get let go. And I think that's the crappiest part about that job is you're terrible and you don't know when you're going to get let go.
Not only that, you can be let go, the next head coach is literally calling your plays.
Yeah.
The next head coach is literally calling your plays. Colin Moore is going to be the next Dallas head coach.
I think so too. I think why not give him a shot? I mean, he's already run with Dak. He's comfortable with Dak. I mean, unless you want to finally, let's just say, I don't know, maybe Eric Bieniemy from Kansas City, you want to give him a shot?
That Jerry Jones goes for big hires and then he goes for just the puppet. Like people that's been grooming for long times in Dallas.
And that's what happens. But I think the big hire was Mike McCarthy. I think if he really wanted to, I think him and Eric Bieniemy together, they would create something. It's sort of like how Washington did it with Ron Rivera and Jack Del Rio. Mm-hmm. That's how they got that amazing defense. I think if you put Eric Bieniemy as the head coach and you put Kellen Moore still as the offensive coordinator, they'll be able to build this amazing offense together.
That's the problem because Jerry Jones goes for the predecessor.
And that's Kellen Moore.
He drafts. He gets the big hire for like 2 or 3 years. Wade Phillips, Jason Garrett. Like he doesn't do that a lot. Like he doesn't stay with.
And then that's the thing: Jimmy Johnson, Barry Switzer.
Yep. Bill Parcells. Rob Marinelli or something? Like I forgot who else was.
Some weird life thing like that.
I forgot. But yeah. So Mike McCarthy, Colin Moore.
I think we see a pattern. There's a pattern here.
You see it. You go for the big hire first. Once that kind of is like, okay, that ran his course, cool. Now I got a real coach that I've always wanted to be the coach. But that's always been the backfire because you let these predecessors who's pretty good at play calling become the head of the team. And the head of the team, they're not good at it. You see why they're the play callers and not the head of the team. You see it.
It's very rare. It's a rare case when an offensive coordinator can go to head coach and be like the better. I'm not saying that it's never happened, but it's very rare. So.
I mean, Matt LaFleur, Sean Payton, it's a lot of players. There's a lot of them. But it's just like, those guys were groomed from day one to be good one day. The problem is, I don't know if Colin Moore, he looks like he's a good play caller. Is he ready to lead the entire team? It's kind of dumb. But we're going to see, because if they lose to Philly in Dallas.
That seat gets a lot hotter.
On Monday Night Football. Even though you want to probably trade Ezekiel Elliott, you're not going to trade him right now. But you're going to, because he's safe. Like you said, most of the players are safe. Except for Mike, because you can't fire the general manager because the general manager is the president. Oh, you can't fire the president because the president is the goddamn owner of the team. You can't
fire yourself.
You can't fire yourself. I mean, maybe his son will step in and be like, "Yo, you're tripping, Dad." But other than that, like,
that's about it. That's enough of that, yeah. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I think it's going to be very interesting to see where this lies.
Yes,
and all this is going to be very telling at the end of it. So we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. And I can't wait. But those are it. those are our week 3 picks. Brandon, it's always fun to talk to you, my man.
All
Can't
right.
wait to talk to you next Wednesday. We'll
Yeah.
see how we do this week. And week 4 should be just as fun, but let's have some fun in week 3 and let's see if these refs can keep their emotions in check. That's all I'm asking for.
I doubt it, but let's see.
I know. I doubt it too. But all right, my man. I will talk to you later. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Thank you for all the wonderful topics and everything. And then we definitely have to get together here and start talking about what would be the most sensible thing for trade deadline.
I'm with it. I am with it.
We'll see. But all right, my man. I will talk to you soon. All right. Take it easy.
You too.
Later.
Later.